born Arnold George Dorsey.
Interesting name.
But he wanted a little more memorable name. Well, he certainly found one. He is the king of romance, the memorable Engelbert Humperdinck.
Very proud of you today.
Yeah.
Didn't most of them say they were part of your fan club, I think?
Do you recognize any of these faces? I'm sure they've seen you perform.
Yes.
Yeah, you do.
Front row.
Engelbert brings his audience with him wherever he goes. We love it, though. We love this excitement
Yeah, it's
that
great.
you have engendered here this morning.
I'm sure they'll all be there at the Greek Theater on Saturday.
Right. One performance, only one performance.
Probably them and about 10,000 more people. How many does it hold? 5,000 more people? 3,000 more people?
I don't know. I think it's about 7, I think.
And then 7,000 of their closest friends. Will you bring 7,000 of your closest friends with you? Okay.
Great place to see a concert, though.
It is, isn't it? I love it being outside in the open and underneath the stars. Hope there'll be some stars.
You've been doing all this for so long, Engelbert. Is it still fun? I mean, when you go out and you perform, you hit the stage.
Oh, yeah. It's like brand new every time. And next year will be my 25th anniversary.
25.
Yeah.
Yet, I read a quote somewhere from you that you talk about one of your worst fears is that you will fail, that you feel like you may fail.
Well,
25 years.
After 25 years, yeah.
You still feel that way?
No.
Well, I would think that would have gone by the wayside. $130 million worth of record sales. I mean, I think you can consider yourself somewhat of a success at this point.
You know, I still enjoy making albums. I'm writing a lot of my own songs lately.
Now, you know, you could recite the alphabet and they're going to applaud and cheer. Why? What happened that made you say, you know what, I'm going to express myself now in the most personal way by writing my own stuff?
Well, I think I know exactly what to sing about. You know, I know what I want to produce, and I know what they want to listen to. And it's all my sort of, my experiences in my life that I project in my songs.
I'd assume there's a lot of romance, a lot of love songs.
Naturally.
So you didn't change what works.
No,
Just the words.
You can't complain about Release Me, though. I mean, come on. You didn't pen it, but boy, oh boy, did you.
It was the one that really started my life, you know. And it was way back in '67.
Can you tell the story how that happened? I love this. I had never known this until I was reading some of your material last night.
Of course, I was on the struggle list before Release Me came along. And then I had a manager called Gordon Mills, who was probably, you know, the man that really was instrumental in changing my name. And he found this song. It was recorded by a couple of other people. And he said to me, I think we found the song that's going to start your career. So I said, please, God, you know, because when you're standing in line waiting to get on that recognition list, it's pretty difficult. Anyway, we found it, and I recorded it, and it was my arrangement, actually. I arranged the whole thing, and there's a key change, which makes it very unusual. And, of course, it was #1 in 11 cities, 11 countries around the world.
All right, now what about the story that you were standing backstage at some kind of a contest or show or whatever, and the guy who was supposed to sing Release Me got sick, and you said, wait a minute, I'll sing that tune, and you ran out and said...
It wasn't exactly like
darn,
that.
those publicists are just cranking out all of those
It
lines.
wasn't exactly like that. What happened, he did get sick, and I was sort of standing in line at my home waiting, and they gave me a call and said, would you like to appear on the London Palladium? And I said, certainly, and I went on and had 6 minutes to establish myself, so I did 3 songs in 6 minutes, but Release Me was the big one. And right after that, they sold, I was selling like 85,000 a day.
Wow.
No.
Yeah, that sold 2.5 million in 6 weeks.
And that would be worldwide, 85,000?
No, that was just in England.
Just in England?
Yeah, and then, of course, it came over to the United States, and it was #1 over here, and then my life started.
Can you tell ahead of time whether a song is going to be a hit? Maybe not as big as Release Me, but something like that?
I knew Release Me was going to be a hit. Somehow, it smelled of success. You know, it smelled of being known all over the world. And I had another one like that, of course, which was After the Loving, which had that that ring to success.
Not a bad little song.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
But the next one, I think, which I've penned myself, I'm hoping is going to be one of them.
Now, I remember back to the time when you first exploded on the scene in the States, okay? And then you had your show, and Tom Jones was busy exploding at the same time. And
He explodes in a lot of places.
Yes, well, you both did okay in that department. And I mean, between you and Tom Jones, but especially you, my mother was swooning morning, noon, and night around the house. I mean, each one, and then you come on with your tuxedo and those, you know, little pants and your little hips. And I mean, what an education I had as a young girl in terms of the sex appeal. No man has been able to, I mean, look at the example. But that's, I mean,
Could we get a ticket from the show?
but
Wow.
those were the days. I mean, you're fantastic now, but the two of you just driving women crazy nonstop.
Yeah, well, you know, Tom and I were partners in the early days, and I mean, he's still doing it, still going strong, same as me.
That's right. I know.
God, but how do you cope with that? There's so many. This doesn't happen to me. I mean,
Not yet. Just wait.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Women
the
throwing
sure,
themselves.
how do we cope
right.
with the women?
Oh, yeah.
One at a time is pretty...
That's a good way.
How did your wife cope with it? Your family?
She handled it very well. You know, I mean, she spent some time in Vegas with me. We just came from Vegas, and we had extreme success over there, as we always do, thank God, you know. But she was there and she witnessed the show, you know, sometimes I think to myself, how am I going to improve my show every year? And every year, I come up with an improvement, you know. And
Yesterday, we had Jackie Collins on the show, and she talked about a book she's coming out, Hollywood Kids, and how the kids of Hollywood parents, of successful parents, have a real challenge ahead of them, trying to keep up with that.
Big challenge.
What about your kids? I know you're pretty close to them. You brought a son down here today.
My daughter's an actress, you know. She's still trying to get in. She's awfully good. She's a good singer and good actress, and she really is a good singer. And you know, she finds it a struggle. My son Scott manages me now, you know. So he's getting into the business that way, and I'm hoping that he'll develop into a great manager, you know, which he will. I think he's very bright, and he's handling my career very well.
Except that he broke down in the car or something?
Yeah, on the way. He was coming back from Vegas yesterday, and he broke down. He's still there, over there, you know.
Oh. Now, one thing you talk
But
about...
I'm sure he's having a good time.
it's not a bad place to be
Without
broken
that,
down. Yeah. You talk about how every year you want to find some way to improve, whatever. One thing that you're doing, a new dimension, you've done some before, but I know you want to do more, is acting. You talked about your daughter as an actress.
Yeah.
And you want to really get more established in that field, don't you?
Yeah, the kind of field I want to go into in acting is, I know that I can't carry a film all by myself, not yet. So I'd like to get into a movie where there is an established good headliners, you know, and I just play a small part and start my career in that direction. And then maybe later on I can take over as a lead.
Well, you've got to be the handsome leading man type. You can't be cast as a villain. You know, you could play any role Sean Connery would be cast for. Couldn't he? Look at, I mean, you've got that...
007.
Tony, you're so nice to me this morning, I tell you.
I don't know
You
what
want to be
got
my
into
agent?
me. All right, Engelbert Humperdinck will be performing for one night only in L.A. this coming Saturday at the Greek Theater. If you want to see him, you're going to have to push past all of these people here, but I'm sure you'll be able to do that this Saturday. Greek Theater, Engelbert Humperdinck.
Thank you.